Testing, testing, testing. Hi, Jane. Can you hear me? Hi, Jane. Hi, Jane.
Can you see me?
Hi, I can hear you. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I can. You're there.
Oh, at last. Great. Fantastic.
Great. So let me just see if you're now live.
Me.
Hi, I can hear you. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I can. You're there.
Oh, at last. Great. Fantastic.
Great. So let me just see if you're now live. Hi, I can hear you. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I can. You're there.
Oh, at last. Great. Fantastic.
Great. So let me just see if you're now live. Hi, I can hear you. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I can. You're there.
Oh, at last. Great. Fantastic.
Okay, I think we are now live. So I'm just going to stop the broadcast and start it again.
Okay.
Is that your end that keeps replaying?
I don't know what it is. I can't understand. Hang on.
I think just make sure YouTube shut down.
Has it stopped?
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. I just clicked. I clicked another box.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
great. I think we're live anyway, so
Okay.
you can just literally crack on and start going if you want.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, after all those technical errors, you know, I don't know where they came from, but thanks, Tim. You contacted me a while ago, didn't you, to say, can we get together and talk about how we could work together? And this conversation's come about because you've got some really interesting software, and I wanted to chat to you about it because I think it could be really valuable for people in my Facebook group that I know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I approached you because I actually really like your group, the Friendly Physio.
Thank you.
On Facebook, and it seemed like a really warm and friendly group. I think it's got about 700 members.
Yeah, it's got about 700 members. And actually, what's interesting is it was started to support massage therapists because although I'm a physio, I was a massage therapist for years. And they sort of struggle to find information in the way that we can get it more, I think, more accessibly as physios. It's slightly easier for them. And some of the chat rooms that are out there for massage therapists, there can be some negative comments and things like that. Anyway, so the Friendly Physio is there to support them. But we do get questions that come up a lot about can other people join, can physios join, and can chiros and osteos join. And so now I'd say the group's slightly changing. It's about 80% massage therapists, but we've also got sports therapists, sports massage therapists, yoga teachers, physio, osteo, chiro. And your software that I'm hoping you're going to tell me about, I think will be really useful for the people in the group. So do you want to tell me about it? Because I've got quite a few questions.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Rehab My Patient is a fantastic exercise prescription software. As physios ourselves, we use it and love it every single day. I think we've prescribed over 250,000 exercise plans now across all our users. So it's really widely used, and it's very, very popular amongst physios and sports massage and osteopaths in the UK and abroad as well. We've got quite a large following in the US. It's a phenomenal piece of software. I'm very proud of it. It works incredibly well. And how about I give you a quick, if I can get this to work?
Online?
How about I give you a quick demo?
Yeah, that would be super.
Okay, so let's just bring this up in the background. Let's see if this will work. So I'm going to try and switch screens. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah, I can see your screen, Tim.
So the website is www.rehabmypatient.com, and I'm just going to log in with a test account. So when you log in, first thing you'll do is you'll see your dashboard that will come up here. So these are your patients, and first thing I'll do is I'll just add a new patient. So I'll add a how about yourself, Jane?
Okay, sounds good. I could do
now if I put the title in, it will refer to you as Mrs. Johnson or Dr. Johnson.
That's fine. Anything, just Miss Johnson.
Or if I leave that blank, it'll just refer to you as Jane.
Okay.
Then I'll put your email address, and I won't put your own email, Jane, and I'll just put in our email for now.
Right.
If you think you might have a patient with the same name, you can put the date of birth in if you wish. And I'm just going to click Add New Patient. Then I'm going to create an exercise plan. So we've got thousands of exercises on here. Let's say you've come in with an injury, Jane. Which body part have you injured?
Let's do the neck, because that's really popular, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's say you've got quite an acute whiplash. Just had a car accident. So your patient comes in, they come down, sit in front of you, and they say, look, I've just had a whiplash. And you'll probably do an examination, and then you'll probably do a treatment program. It might be hands-on, it might be exercises. If you're a massage therapist, obviously you'll probably do some massage. If you're physio, you probably do some mobilization or prescribe some exercises. So once the consultation's finished, we do want you to do some exercises to help you while you're not under my care. So to go away and do them on your own. So let's just go to neck, and let's go to all our exercises in the neck. Now, one of the exercises actually I most prefer is we want to probably first of all improve your range of motion. So a nice exercise would be just a gentle neck rotation. Okay, so look left and right. It's very comfortable to do, and let's give you a nice just gentle side flexion.
Those are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic pictures, really, really nice. I'll just make one a bit bigger for you. And there's also videos as well. So if you click this little button, you'll get a video that will pop up.
Yeah.
We'll say your neck's quite acute, so maybe let's put some ice on it. Okay, and let's prescribe a whiplash advice sheet as well, just to give you a bit more information about what whiplash is. So here's our advice sheets here. So I'm going to open that up. So we've got our custom written advice sheets, which explain what whiplash is, how it occurs, things you can do to help. And we'll add that to our exercise sheet. So that means that you're going to be prescribed the exercises and the advice sheet. And we'll call this whiplash exercises. Continue. So we'll repeat this 10 times. At the top of the you've got your clinic logo. This was one which was set up for one of our partners as a test, which is the IDD clinics. We'll do this twice a day. We'll do these 10 times. Maybe we'll do this actually 3 times a day. We'll put ice for 10 minutes. Obviously, you can change the settings as much as you want. You can do them as frequently or as little as you want. I'm being a bit lazy by just saying 10 by 3s. We'll do this twice a day. And we'll attach a diary to your program as well. Click save, and then email it to the patient.
Diary, yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant in diary. So I've emailed it to you. Okay. I'm now just going to print it out for you. You're sitting next to me. Here's the printout. Print. It's got a video on here. It tells you how many times to do the exercise. Okay, it gives a description, a picture, and a video. And you've got your advice sheet as well.
Yeah. That's so important, isn't it, Tim? Because that's one of the problems, isn't it? That people come for treatment and, they might see you once a week for an hour or even less than that if you're a physio. And it's all the stuff outside of that they need to be doing, isn't it? It's, the other 6 days of the week when they're not face-to-face with you.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly it, Jane. I'm just going to put you back onto screen. Right, I think you've got me now on the screen, haven't you?
Yeah. Because I was talking about this actually to some therapists. So I was teaching a workshop recently in Manchester, and they had sort of concerns about, they were all massage therapists, and they were talking about how they often get clients that come to them that have not had a very good experience of physiotherapy. and said, oh, they just gave me some exercises to do. And I think that's one of the problems, is that the exercises are valid. It's just that we don't go through them enough with people. We don't explain them. We don't explain why they're important to do we, sometimes? So something like this is...
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. And one of the big problems is that so many physios are just do just prescribe exercises. I mean, there's a substantial amount of evidence that backs up doing exercises for a lot of musculoskeletal injuries. And so when patients just receive exercises, I think they feel a little bit frustrated, and that's why they might seek other people like massage therapists or sports massage therapists, and they'll turn up and they'll say, you know, I went to physio and it was complete crap. They just gave me an exercise sheet. And so many patients actually want them both together. So what we're seeing is an increasing number of patients are seeing massage therapists, osteopaths, physios, and for asking for exercises. So they want hands-on treatment, but they want the exercises as well. So this is perfect, because with Rehab My Patient, it's so fast to prescribe an exercise program. It literally takes you 1 minute. And if you set up a template, you can actually do it in about 5 seconds. So it's super fast, and that means you can actually spend a significant amount of your time going through rehab. You might do the exercise with them, or you might do the massage with them, so you can have that one-to-one time and then prescribe the exercise program. It's what's absolutely brilliant for massage therapists, osteos.
I agree. And I think one of the problems I've noticed is that there are exercise sheets out there on the internet, but the problem is they're not specific, are they, to the patient? And as you know, we have to tailor everything to our patients or to our clients. And it seems like with the Rehab My Patient, you can actually do that, can't you? And how is it different, Tim, from the other software that's already out there for that purpose?
So there's lots and lots of different softwares out there which do similar things. I designed this Rehab My Patient because I had a vision of what I wanted to use as a clinician, and I wanted something super fast, something that looked absolutely fantastic, something that was actually a really good marketing tool for my clinic as well. So we send these out to as many patients as we can, because it's like a free advert for your clinic. You know, you're handing out an exercise sheet to the patient. They're walking away. They show their doctor. They show their therapist. They stick it on their cupboard door. You know, and people see it. So it's really, really good promotion for you. It's got your logo, your address on it. So I wanted that marketing aspect as part of this as well. So I wanted a very specific program which would actually promote clinicians, promote a professional outfit of your practice, and something that was super fast. And that's why I created this, because what I found with the others, I mean, I just found them too clunky and too slow. I mean, we used to subscribe to another software before I created this several years ago, and we used to bang our heads against the wall with this software. And I just thought there's got to be an easier way to do this.
I agree, Tim. I've used various types of software, you know, for providing exercises, and I agree with you that unfortunately they take quite a long time to actually just get your sheet. And when someone's sitting there, you want to be going through the exercises with them, don't you? And they need to see it in front of them as well. And so that if they ask questions, you can write the answers to that on the sheet, you know, or if you have to tweak it and do a tiny little modification or whatever it is, you can actually write that on the sheet. And so if you're waiting for it to print out and you can't even access it, that's always been really frustrating for me. So it's great to see that there's something else.
It's really, really good. And we also, I created it for people who have multiple locations. So if you work in more than one location, you can change your letterhead address. So you can switch between your locations. So you can have some patients at one location. You can have your other patients that see you at the other location. And then when they get the exercise program, they get the location address distinct to that location. So it means people, I mean, for example, we used in a big NHS trust with 30 locations. For example, used across East Sussex in the NHS, and East Sussex I think they have something like 35 locations, ranging from Haywards Heath to Eastbourne. And so they have multiple sites in Eastbourne. And so you can be at different locations and have a different address on your letterhead, and you just switch between locations seamlessly. You just literally click a button. It's fantastic. And so I wanted to create this model that people that work in different locations, you might work at a rugby club, you might work 2 nights a week at a rugby club, and you want that rugby club detail on your letterhead. So so this was another aspect of something that I wanted to get across as a practicing physio.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you a question about it, because I think you sent me a link to have a trial, a free trial. Does everybody get that? Is that something, if people are interested in, that you provide, and how long does that last?
Yep, so we do a 14-day free trial. So you can just basically, and that's because we're really confident that you'll like the site. And you just log in and play with it. It's incredibly intuitive. So you don't really need any instructions. We've got YouTube videos and help files, but literally just log in for 14 days and have fun and play with it and use it and try it.
The $64 million question, which is at the moment, how much does it cost if people want to use the software?
So in the UK, it's £11.42 per month,
right,
for a single license. Now, clinics, you can sign up a clinic license, which allows up to 10 users. We're going to reduce that soon, so we're going to reduce that down to 5 users. But at the moment, you can sign up and have 10 users as part of a clinic package, which costs £16 a month. So we're talking, let's say you're a single user, massage therapist, you work on your own, you're talking £11 a month, which is probably a fifth of one client appointment. So you only need to see 2.5 clients and you've paid for the software for the year.
Yeah.
You know, it's very affordable. We don't want it to be expensive. I want it to be usable. I want it to be out there as an affordable option for people. It's £11 a month. It's nothing. You know, it's a fraction of a cost of a consultation.
Well, what I'm thinking is, even if you're a massage therapist and you're sort of out in the sticks and you've got a regular clientele, but you're not in a city, you might be charging £30 an hour. That's still only a third of one of the client appointments, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's really affordable. But the thing is, because you're using this software regularly, you're giving this to every patient. It's like, and you're emailing every patient. It's like you're blasting your professional clinic, your outfit, your marketing to every single patient. So you actually, I think you get that money back in recommendations, and people that say your clinic is great, and people that say you're great, because you're taking your practice to a next level. For massage therapists, you're really taking your practice to a next level, because you're not just massaging. I mean, let's say someone comes in, they've had a whiplash and they've got a tight sternocleidomastoid muscle, or tight scalenes, or you find trigger points in the upper trapezius. You can just prescribe an exercise program so they can go and stretch it.
Yeah, that's right.
And now you're a super massage therapist. You're crossing the border now for physio. And that's fantastic, because the more massage therapists that use exercise prescription, the better it is for the patients.
Yeah, well, there's a question I wanted to ask you that's slightly off piste here. One of the things that I'm really passionate about is helping therapists of all kinds to develop their entrepreneurial skills. And you've really raised the bar there, haven't you, with what you've done? Would you consider yourself a clinician or an entrepreneur, or both?
First and foremost, always a clinician. And I have actually really hard time thinking of myself as an entrepreneur. I see entrepreneurs as Dragon's Dens, Peter Joneses and Richard Bransons, of course. And so I'm really at ground level, while those guys are a mile high. So I don't really see myself, I don't look at myself as an entrepreneur. Although, having said that, I have just been made an NHS England clinical entrepreneur.
Yes.
So, I'm now being supported by NHS England, who provide training and mentoring and pit stop workshops for us, online webinars. Absolutely fantastic. So they're supporting a lot of the ideas that I've got, which is brilliant.
That's fantastic. And do you think there's scope for other therapists, chiros, osteos, other physios, massage therapists, sports massage therapists and fitness instructors? Do you think there's more scope for them to do entrepreneurial work over and above, they're working in their own private clinic and they're treating people? Because one of the things I hear a lot is that it's hard work, being a therapist. It's physically demanding. And what's interesting about physio is, obviously not all of our work is hands-on, because we do an awful lot of exercise advice and education, don't we? Whereas when you're a massage therapist, you are predominantly massaging. And so I try to encourage massage therapists to find other ways to support themselves, where they're not actually having to put their hands physically on people. And do you think there's scope for that in their industry?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all know massage is hard work. And you can't just have, like, a physio could have a clientele of 30 to 50 clients a week quite happily, or more. I mean, 50 is really quite straightforward for us. But as a massage therapist, you'd never ever want that many patients, because it's just so manual and physically exhausting and hard on your body.
Yeah.
So I really support therapists that do sort of entrepreneurial things, and it could be something as simple as just getting your website up, promoting yourself, and getting busier, putting your prices up, and lowering your number of clients that you work with. The busier you are, if you can only see 30 people a week or 25 people a week, which is a lot for massage, you put your prices up, so you're working more smarter. That's a most simple level, I think, of entrepreneurism, is just working efficiently. But at a deeper level, you can do so much, because knowledge is something that you can generate into a product. You could open up a shop on your website, or you could write an ebook, or you can set up courses for people online to help them exercise, or to give them advice, or or you could write a book like yourself, Jane, or several books.
Well, this is what I encourage loads of therapists all the time, to write books, to write about their experiences. And one of the problems is they're always so busy. And I think with what you're suggesting, what's interesting to me is that it comes up a lot in conversation, and people don't agree with, there is some disagreement in the industry about the level of exercise and stretching that a massage therapist would prescribe, because they are concerned about staying within their professional remit. And one of the topics we talk about on stretching workshops that I deliver is that much of this information is available anyway, and they are all really hot on contraindications. I mean, the massage therapists that I work with are really up on what are contraindications to hands-on skills, to stretching, that kind of thing anyway. And I think that once they become known as being able to give that extra information, that, someone goes away, they've had a lovely massage, they feel nice, they found out how to measure that, what else can you give your client? And if you can provide safe stretches that have helped you stay within your remit, just still within your remit, I think that's a marvelous tool. And I'm thinking also that the many fitness instructors that I know as well, they're very used to working with people on a one-to-one, but not necessarily giving them an exercise sheet to go away with. And I can see that for that industry, it's phenomenal, isn't it?
I think it's madness that massage therapists are not prescribing exercises. And I get that they'll say, well, it's out of my scope of practice, but anybody could just, any patient, and patients do, just go on YouTube, go on Google.
They Google them incorrectly, don't they?
Anyway, so they're going to get the exercises anyway. So it's better that you've got a bit of knowledge, and you're guiding your patient. And do you know what? Actually, you learn by prescribing exercises. So Rehab My Patient is a brilliant learning tool. I mean, I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to switch back to the screen again. So let's just if you go to create an exercise plan, we've actually got these different tabs here with diagnosis and muscles. Now, this isn't a final product, it's in beta testing, but if we click, say, Achilles tendinopathy, we've got some suggested eccentric exercises for Achilles tendinopathy. And so you can actually learn from this.
And Tim, sorry to interrupt you, but what's interesting to me is that sort of bridges the gap as well between massage and sports massage, because a lot of the sports massage courses, I mean, certainly sports therapy courses, but the sports massage courses, they actually do incorporate a small number of that kind of thing, of the exercise rehab, because the sports massage therapists need to know about that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's I'm just going to switch back to us. Sorry. Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes hand in hand. Exercises and rehab and massage. It's all work together.
Yeah.
So,
one thing I'd like to do with you is maybe have another chat sometime about just talking about stretching rather than strengthening. So maybe we can have another conversation, because I get a lot of questions. I teach stretching workshops. I just taught one recently, and we did passive stretching. So the passive stretches that you can do with a client on the couch. But the second day were all the stretches that you can give to a client, and the kind of contraindications that come up and how you'd modify them. And I think the therapist had a lot of questions, as they always do on those workshops, and it would be really good to just have another session where you can show examples of the stretches maybe from your toolkit, and we can talk about when they may or may not be appropriate. We could just pick, like maybe the neck or the ankle, and we could talk about, how often people should stretch, or how many stretches you could give them, and the common problems, that happen when people stretch, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, what we could do is we could actually launch our own little video course. So we could do a video course on stretches for different either conditions or body parts.
Yeah.
And we could look at, like, for back pain, we could look at, like, what stretches we prescribe, like your lumbar spine stretches or your hamstring stretches.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or for the knee, you might look at quadriceps.
Because I've got a website, sorry, not a website, a Facebook page, and it's just got some videos on it, and they're all, me first thing in the morning. I think I must answer that question that I got asked, and they're all 5-minute videos in response to questions I've been asked by therapists, and I just put them there because I didn't know where to put them, and people kept asking me the same questions over and over again, and I said, go and have a look at that 5-minute video. And I think it's interesting just to see how many hits some of those videos get, because obviously people can't find that information easily elsewhere from a source that they think is reputable, because lots of people make videos but they might not have the knowledge that you have, that I have, do you know what I mean, that underpins that. And I think that's key, isn't it? You've got to be really careful about some of the information that is out there, so having it in one place that's where we've got a good reputation and we can give people safe and also effective advice about stretching would be really valuable.
I truly believe in sharing knowledge as much as possible. Now, everyone in the medical profession has their opinion, and that's great because it's always a little bit grey, and we sometimes we don't agree on certain exercises and stretches. So this is why there's such a wide variation of opinions. And so if you find a reputable source, someone that's got a lot of clinical experience, that's been using this exercise software or these exercises for a long time, then you can get some fantastic information. I've been around the world. I've seen physios working around the world. I've been to 4 Olympic Games, and so I'm in a great position to say, well, this is what we do in the UK, but actually this is what the Brazilian physios do.
That's great.
And it's so interesting seeing how other therapists from around the world work. So and everyone's got their own take on it. So you just following someone that I guess has that experience can be very valuable, and we should definitely set up a course. So we should do, like, 1 week we do shoulder stretches for shoulder impingement or something, and the next week we do elbow for tennis elbow, and we could do a course of 5 or 6 common body parts. I think that your group would find it really interesting and really useful.
And another final, just to wrap up, Tim, if we post this into the Facebook group, into the Friendly Physio, and people have questions just about the software, are you happy to field those or pass them on to your admin people?
Yeah, sure. They can post them Friendly Physio, and hopefully it should pop up on my thread. Or just email us, support@rehabmypatient.com. We're on Facebook, so you can message us on Facebook. We are on YouTube, youtube.com/rehabmypatient. And we are on other social media, Twitter as well, @rehabmypatient. So there's lots and lots of ways to get in contact with us. But I mean, one of the best ways is just to sign up for a free trial, just to have a play with it.
Well, they've got to lose, nothing to lose, for 14 days free trial.
Yeah, if it's not for you, no problem. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's brilliant for loads and loads of people, but it's but I think you'll like it, and I think give it a go, because you can dump stickmen. I mean, so many people rely on just drawing stickmen, right? So the patient comes in, they say, "Oh, can you give me some stretches?" You draw stickmen, and then you give that sheet to the patient. First of all, you haven't got a record of what that sheet was unless you photocopy it, but you haven't got a record. It takes you a long time. Stickman is never great. It's never easy to see exactly what you're doing. Sometimes you've got to write a description, or you've got to guess. Then you've got to write down how many sets and how many times you do the exercise. And you know what? It just ends up being a messy sheet of paper, right? And you've got no record of it. With this, you've got a record of the notes of the exercise plan you've prescribed, and even a year, 2 years, 5 years down the line, you've got that record. So when that patient comes back with the same problem because they've re-sprained their ankle, you've got the exercise program they did a year ago.
Yeah.
And this is so it's a fantastic tool on so many reasons. With clinical practice, it works beautifully together.
Thank you. Well, I look forward to posting this video into the group.
I hope it works.
I'm sure it will. I think people will be really interested in it, and I'm very sort of careful about what I do and don't post into the group. We don't carry marketing or other sorts of things like that. It is generally a group where people can ask questions in a really safe environment. It's a closed group, and like I say, it was set up not for physios actually, but to support massage therapists. But then we're now getting more and more people sort of joining because they have an interest in massage as well and the value of that. And I think the members will really love it. I'm sure you'll get inquiries.
Brilliant, fantastic. And so I can't, as I say, I recommend the Friendly Physio group. Just Facebook it, the Friendly Physio. It's a nice group, and let's get chats going. Let's get discussions going about exercises.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Tim.
That's lovely to speak to you, Jen.
You too. Take care.
Okay. Take care.
Yeah.